Hello everyone, welcome to a new video of On Sale Only. Today we're having a look at a brand new sale covering new assets that have been released in 2021. So let's get started. First off, we have State Machine for Game Creator, and this is a wonderful module. It basically allows you to visualize the way Game Creator works in a completely different type of node-based look. And I mean, that's kind of undercutting it. It allows for a lot more. It's honestly a wonderful system. If you've used the Game Creator behavior module before, you'll feel right at home with using this as well. Honestly worth having a look if you want a different type of workflow. And we have another module for Game Creator. Mobile Components basically contains a ton of different mobile actions, triggers, different type of touch sticks, haptic feedback, gyroscope control. Honestly a must-have if you are going to create a mobile game with Game Creator. It's just incredibly useful and I use it in my mobile projects as well. Would definitely recommend this. Feel is basically a collection of everything you found in feedbacks, nice vibrations, and tools. And it does it with a much shorter and easier to remember name. Basically, it allows you to control audio sources, camera effects, game object effects, particle effects, post-processing, rendering. It's incredibly complete and it's incredibly easy to use. It's quite similar to how you'd set up, a lot of different type of components, post-processing effects, basically in terms of how it looks and feels. And you can do most of these things without having to code much. Honestly, it's really great. It's worth having a look at. If you already own some of the other assets they have, you'll most likely get an additional discount as well. Analytic Soft Shadows is a new shadow asset for built-in render pipeline, and that's incredibly welcome, as my biggest problem with built-in render pipeline was shadows. It's incredibly easy to set up. You add a component to your camera, you add a component to your objects, and you're pretty much done. Definitely worth having a look at if you want better shadows for built-in render pipeline. KWS Water System is a new water system by Crypto, who is known for many of his visual effects assets. And I know what you might think, we already have tons of water assets, but none of them are perfect, so it's always nice to have a new one. And I honestly love the underwater look. It does a couple of really interesting things already. A lot of nice developments are on its way as well, so I definitely recommend having a look at this one. Nature Shaders is a new asset by the team behind Nature Renderer, and it's honestly incredibly similar to the Vegetation Engine, and it does a lot of the same things really. It's an interesting asset. I've tried it out myself. I couldn't find that many differences at first, but then again I bought it when it just got released, so maybe it's already doing a lot of new things. It's honestly performs really well, so definitely worth having a look at if you don't have an asset like this yet. And speaking of the Vegetation Engine, they released an Amplify Imposters add-on this year, which basically allows you to use the Amplify Imposters asset combined with the Vegetation Engine, which results in just way better looking LODs than you'll be used to by default, as you can clearly see. And they still interact with motion as well. Honestly, it's pretty impressive, but it will save you tons and tons on performance. So definitely worth having a look at if you have both of these, or if you just generally want to increase your performance. Speaking of, we have another Imposter asset, Imposters Runtime Optimization. And I currently don't own this yet, but I'm definitely curious to give this a try. I already own Amplify Imposters, but this looks pretty impressive. And the whole goal with Imposters is basically creating LODs that, well, something similar to LODs that increase your performance at a distance. So everything in the distance is replaced by a fake that has close to no meshes, or they're actually billboards even. And they drastically increase performance, and the goal is to make it look good compared to your standard LODs. So I'm curious to give this one a go. Mountain Environment by Nature Manufacturer is another absolutely gorgeous, new realistic environment. This is definitely something that I'll be giving a try in HDRP. I just want to see it in its full glory. Um, their models are always incredibly impressive. They're definitely AAA tier. This type of environment is something they didn't do yet before. It looks absolutely gorgeous, so yeah, definitely going to give this one a go. And what would a sale be without another Cinti asset? Dungeon Realms is one of their latest incredibly big model packs out there. It looks absolutely gorgeous. It's great for a fantasy environment. So if you are going to create the next, Elder Scrolls in Unity, this is definitely something you should look at. We didn't really have dwarves yet, and maybe I'm wrong about that, but it looks really, really cool. It looks pretty incredible. It's a really big asset, of course, and tons of models included. So yeah, definitely worth having a look at. And in the same medieval theme, we also have Medieval Town Environment by Infinity PBR. This looks absolutely amazing. It's completely modular as well, which is, always a really nice thing. And if you are going to create a fantasy game in a more realistic look, then Infinity PBR's assets are definitely worth having a look at in general. But this one especially looks really, really good. It's nice to see him venture more into the environments as well, except for just models. So yeah, really nice asset. Definitely check this one out. So we have low poly, we have realism, and now we have stylistic as well. Dreamscape Meadows is an absolutely gorgeous nature asset pack in a stylistic style. It's honestly one of the best 3D stylistic grasses I've seen. Most of these packs just contain simple billboards for grass, and these are actual 3D models. I really like the way this one looks. I used the grass myself. I actually really like it, as I've mentioned before. So yeah, definitely would recommend this to anyone. And that's it for this week's on sale only. I know there's tons more assets out there, but I just wanted to cover a couple. Links are in the description, and if you want to check out the rest, just click on the link and you'll get there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.